All right, let's move on. We'd be remiss without talking about Open Dollar. We've been Open Dollar recently launched their DAO on Tally with their token airdrop, and also they're running their governance on Tally as well. We had a DAO Talk interview go out, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago with Joseph Cup of Joe Joseph on Twitter, who is the founder and CEO of Open Dollar. So go check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about Open Dollar and go into the weeds about how the protocol works. We're going to talk a little bit right now about their governance structure and what we've been doing with them. We've, along with the DAO Talk interview and basically building their entire governance framework on the Tally site and working with them pretty close. We've been releasing some mirror posts diving into the protocol, their governance structure, and their token airdrop. Today, actually, the day of recording, we released um, the last part of that series, which has to do with ungovernance, something we've talked about with Amin Soleimani and Reza from Rye in the past. So we'll link that episode as well if you want to hear kind of from like the ungovernance OGs. But yeah, this is a great little piece that we posted. It's about like a 5 to 6 minute read on our mirror. We'll link that below, talking about ungovernance, how Open Dollar is going to use ungovernance to guide their protocol, and what that means. There's a good little blurb here, and then maybe if any of you want to kind of add on to it around like what ungovernance is, but essentially it's just trying to remove as much human error and human manipulation as possible, while also maintaining like credible on-chain governance. A good little blurb here is ungovernance restricts the DAO from making disruptive changes to the protocol. For example, minting tokens or altering fee distributions in a bid to prevent unwelcome surprises and reduce the risks of orchestrated attacks. Additionally, the protocol is non-upgradable, preventing it from being modified with malicious code, while also supporting developers with a stable technical foundation. So you're kind of keeping the technical foundation in lock without like allowing people to change it with like vampire attacks or malicious attacks, but you're still getting the core DAO functions like grants programs, additional audits, treasury management, all the good stuff we always talk about that you're able to do on Tally. So really interesting to see, and I foresee this being kind of or hopefully um, a framework that more DAOs use going forward, especially those large protocol DAOs. Any thoughts on this version or CHG?
Yeah, super exciting to see Open Dollar go live. We're starting to do kind of more work with DAOs at the initial DAO launch. It's really important to ultimately set up the governance for long-term success, right? Like how you get started, how the initial delegation goes is super important. And it was, yeah, really fun just like working with the Open Dollar team to make sure the governance aspect of their launch went well. One of the really great aspects of working at Tally and like the position we're in the ecosystem is we get to watch tons of governance experiments unfold, right? So the approach that Open Dollar is taking with ungovernance, I think is one that a lot of protocols strive for. Like one of the things that I talk about a lot is if you imagine a two-circle Venn diagram between um, credible neutrality and getting shit done, Tally's in the middle, right? We allow you to get stuff done and ship and upgrade the software and deploy the treasury for growth, while also retaining that credible neutrality and giving a distributed group power over the protocol. And I think this is a ungovernance. I think of it as like a flavor of that, right? It's like how do we minimize the amount of governance required to still get what we need to get done for the protocol? It's probably like if there's a spectrum in the middle of the circle towards doing less, right, and doing more credible neutrality, it's probably on that side of the scale. And yeah, I think it's going to be really great to follow along with their progress and success going forward.
Yeah, it's what I love about us. God, that sounds so pretentious. Like with Tally and like what we kind of set up to do is like obviously like we're pretty committed to the governor framework, but outside of that, like different implementations of that and different frameworks, we kind of work with the ecosystem community to make whatever kind of framework or little flavor of decentralized on-chain governance you want to work with. This is one of them. Obviously, we're going to have some pieces on optimistic governance going out in the future from Content Gale on the Tally Mirror. So again, and if you listen to this and you have research or different ideas that you want us to explore or elevate and look at, reach out, whether that be just for us to like kind of read and look at, or whether you want to get some writing or research funded. We're always looking for that as well.